Sunday, Obaka. I greet you. Good afternoon, difference, Blackie. I greet you. Good morning, good to see you. Welcome everybody. Good afternoon, Emeka. Thank you so much. Samuel, okay, I greet you. I wish you all a great day. This is gonna be very short, except if people want to contribute. No. I wish you will have a great day. Toby, good afternoon. Good morning. Thank you. Happy Sunday. Oh yeah, I greet you. Hey, I greet you, Dixon. You're welcome. Thank you. I wish you all a great day. Welcome back to this live video. So, yesterday I was telling you guys about my opinion. Just my opinion that, I feel like Wike kept PDP alive, you know? And I feel like the mistake that Wike made actually was not going for the presidency 4 years ago. Because in my own opinion and observation, so this is my own interpretation, my own personal opinion, because of Ndowa, people that want to fight everything they take it personal. So from my own observation, I saw that in the wake of what happened with the formation of APC, we saw them moving into the APC from PDP. And so when they moved and formed this PDP, and it became a very big force against the PDP, and eventually won, you know. So PDP was there hanging in a limbo. And who took the mantle of leadership? It was PDP and the Igbo whiners, you know. They took basically ownership of PDP and were using it to be their platform of cry. Where they cry from and whine from and, you know, condemn everything in the APC. And somehow they made PDP an Igbo party. And so everyone who was not in PDP became an enemy. And they were causing, oh, everybody, you know, like, you know, the sentiment was really, you know, you just have to really realize what was going on before you can pull yourself out. Because at that point, it was like anyone who was not PDP, who was against PDP, who was not standing in the interest of PDP, was just like against Igbo. Like they just kind of mobbed everybody into this thinking. And, you know, it became that way. And Wike was just there fighting to keep PDP afloat. You understand me? And being the leader. I don't know other, you know, dissatisfaction that was coming from how he was leading and all those kind of things. But I just saw that he was the one that kept that PDP party together, and you know, making sure that the candidates were afloat and up and running and stuff like that, to the point that the convention was held in Port Harcourt the last time. And so I was thinking that, okay, since it is like this, I was expecting that Wike would be the one that would run for the presidency in the last time, you know, in 2019. So, because if he had interest in the presidency, why didn't he go for it then? I was thinking, because I've made a mention of this thing in one of my videos. So I was thinking, what happened? You know, why didn't he go for the presidency at that time? So, just like they were holding everything together, then all of a sudden, Baba Atiku didn't make it in the PDP because he wanted to replace President Buhari, and Buhari wanted to go for a second term. And so what was he doing? He rushed back into PDP. He rushed back into APC and he was welcome. Do you understand? Like at the point that you should have said, okay, no, we are the own here, like that kind of thing. Now we there here, now we run this place, that kind of a thing. And take your preeminence at that time and present yourself and go for it. They allowed themselves to be relegated again. It was like, okay, now they hold the ground, now they have. So now they have, then they keep the place. So any day where they call ready, they will just come back and collect the team back. You see? So that was surprising to me, And then all of a sudden, even though they have been saying Fulani, 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 and all of a sudden you have two Fulani candidates and two different Southerners being the running mates. And it became, it was really funny in a way because like all these 4 years we were going, Fulani, anti-Fulani, anti-Buhari, anti-everything, not. And then all of a sudden, P2B was running mate to Atiku, and then you just kind of switched your allegiance and started doing Atiku late obediently. And I'm like, people were like, okay, so is Atiku no longer a Fulani man? And we're like, oh no, because he's PDP, he's different, he's a different kind of PDP Fulani man. He's not that kind of Fulani man that President Buhari is. His own Fulaniness is unique, that kind of a thing. And so, the Yorubas also had to, go with their own Fulani then, so it was like your Fulani and my Fulani. Greetings, I greet everyone. So I greet to a double justice, I greet you. So that's it. I'm just saying my observation. Anybody can counter this, so yeah, everybody has been returned to factory settings, you see. So, these things are very funny. Like, you mislead your people, you mislead your population. Everybody is having one rhetoric at any time, Everybody you want to push everybody to have one rhetoric. And everybody to, like, it's like we didn't, like I was saying that our evolution was disrupted. And so we didn't evolve beyond village mindset. It's like when you have agreed on something in your Umunna meeting, in your village. It's like, okay, this is how we are going to do it. And you project that on the whole ethnic nationality of Igbos, of millions. Like, who does that? Who does that? This is what we do. We project one mindset and use it to mob the rest and fight against each other and fight against, instead of you to be looking at what is the interest and what is the benefit thereof. Finish. But like I've never seen anything like this. Like, I really had to remove myself from within and kind of try to look at it from an outside, because when other people talk, they give some vibe, and you will be wondering, like, what are they talking about? You really have to come out of it and look at it. Oh, okay, then it begins to make sense. You understand me? So at the end of the day, Atiku became the presidential candidate. He's a Fulani man. He's a PDP. And at the end of the day, President Buhari becomes the presidential candidate. He's a Fulani man, and he's in the APC. And still, they did not learn anything. They continue to sing anti-Fulani, anti-North, anti-Fulani after the elections. So what is happening today now? Factory resettings. You're not in PDP anymore. You don't hold any sway anymore. How are you going to do it now? Do you know that just because P2B didn't make it, and P2B candidacy was used again as a mob? Why? Why? Like, I don't understand this thing. You just hold one person, you project him, and it becomes your mob. Like your new, the video I did, in search of a savior. Again, P2B, and you wonder, like, is he the only Igbo man? There are several Igbo men out there and showing their intention. Why did you pick out this one? Oh, yes, only this one. Oh, And me, I've not even seen his base outside of Igbo land. I've not seen his base, like, really. But I don't understand this craze. Okay, now, P2P pulled out. And then the rest of the Igbo PDP, where did their delegation votes go to? Keep that in mind before you start saying, Auntie, no, the not that. So one was even on my page already doing, this Fulani, you can't play that. Like, you are the one playing yourself, and you don't even realize it. You don't realize it. Wike got more than 200 votes. Are you telling me that all those votes came only from the southern delegates? No, of course. So now, Wike fought a good fight. There is no need to be pitching anybody against each other. Learn from it. Look at Vice President Osibanjo. Look at Jagaban. They are both in the race. I did not see anybody trying to mob anybody to say you must be here, you must be there. Like all Yoruba has to be bad, all Yoruba has to be bad. You see people pushing their candidates. You know, they can take a jab at this candidate, take a jab at this, but they are still pushing their own. But our own, hey, P2P. You are the one crying. You are the one crying about Southern. But when you have the delegate to vote, you did not vote for a Southerner because Wike is not an Igbo man. Then you say, okay, it's better for the Fulani, and then you will still come back and be crying Fulani. Who is not doing you? Because you hate what Wike did with IPOB, and you are afraid that if Wike should get there, una only do food don't enter wahala. That is what is underneath the Wike and anti-Wike sentiment. So if you are not seeing it, other people are seeing through it. So stop being labile. Now, it's time for you to start afresh. Don't go and start doing anti-PDP, anti-APC. You are an ethnic nation of millions. Stop reducing yourself to small minority, negligible minority because of your antics. Everything you say about the North, you are doing the same thing. Everything you say, the North. Look at the post I made about the bishop that was posted to Mbise. They rejected him. They rejected the bishop, an Igbo man, just because he's not from Mbise, whatever the reason. And to the point that the Pope even intervened and asked them, they refused. So Wike has fought a good fight. Stop mocking him. That is my own observation. Like I said, it's my own personal observation. So stop trying to head everybody like a head. We are not head. We are ethnic nation. If you come to every ethnic nation, there are always diverse voices pushing towards the same interest. But your own, you are just you want to have that monopoly of control. Even here that I'm sitting here, they want to control what I will say, how I say it, where I say it. Why are you such in a need to be in control of other people's mind? Why? I don't understand it. I'm telling you, the Pope intervened. I need to show you guys that video. The Pope intervened, they refuse. They say lie. Mbise has the highest number of priests, and Mbise doesn't have a bishop, and Mbise must be a bishop. I'm telling you. Let me find that video and play it for you guys. Yeah. And then you now come. Imagine a whole Pope was asking you, allow this man to be. You refuse. A whole Pope. And you say you are a Catholic. And you have Mbise priest being posted to different parts of the world. Even there was a time in this Germany that they posted a priest, and the people, the locals, were rejecting that. They don't want a black man to be their priest, and some other locals, like, they were like, how can you say something? How can, there were a lot of anti demonstration against that kind of thing, that this is church. But you did not see that with Ndumbisi. They continued for years until that man was taken to a Kulobia.
Delegation from Ahiria asking
I want to show you the video.
Priests from a diocese in Nigeria to accept the bishop appointed to them 5 years ago, or risk suspension. The Holy Father's strong words came during his meeting with a delegation.
I have repeatedly offered.
From Ahiria diocese last Thursday.
I'm coming. I want to set it
Vatican
so that
correspondent Mary Shevlin joined.
So, yeah.
Pope Francis is asking priests from a diocese in Nigeria to accept the bishop appointed to them 5 years ago, or risk suspension. The Holy Father's strong words came during his meeting with a delegation from Ahiria
diocese.
Vatican correspondent Mary Shevlin joins us from Rome. Mary, the bishop in question was appointed by Pope Benedict in 2012. Why are members of the clergy and the faithful there opposing his appointment?
Lauren, Bishop Okpaleke was not chosen from among the local priests of that diocese. Ahiada is in Mumbubaise, a predominantly Catholic region of Imo State in southern Nigeria, whereas Bishop Okpaleke is from Anambra State, which borders Imo to the north. So they sent a petition in 2012 when the bishop was appointed on behalf of the coalition of these Igbo Catholics, and they said that no priest from Baise origin is a bishop today is, quote, mind-boggling. The petition that they sent to Benedict said, citing that they had more priests per capita in that diocese than any other diocese in Nigeria, and in their opinion, they could have found somebody from that pool of priests qualified to lead the diocese instead of bringing in an outsider, in their opinion.
How is Pope Francis proposing to solve the crisis?
Lauren, during the audience, the Pope requested simply that the diocese receive Bishop Okpaleke, and Pope Francis asked that every priest in the diocese, whether he resides there, works elsewhere, even priests that are from that diocese who work abroad, he wants them to write a letter of apology personally to Pope Francis, asking for forgiveness for their disobedience, for not letting the bishop carry out his work. That's a very strong gesture by the Pope on his part. We haven't seen anything like this in modern church history. The Pope added, whoever fails to do this within 30 days is ipso facto, which means by the very fact, suspended from all divine things, such as the celebration of the sacrament. So very strong words. We'll see what happens in the next 30 days.
That is a heavy, heavy punishment. What reason is the Pope giving for this decision?
Because, as he said, Lauren, the quote, the people of God are scandalized. And he reminded us that Jesus said, whoever causes scandal must suffer the consequences. Pope Francis said he'd been following these events since he took office, and admitted that he thought about even suppressing the diocese, which means the diocese would no longer exist. But he later decided that the church is a mother and cannot abandon her many children. So Pope Francis obviously thinking of the faithful there. So he decided not to repress the diocese, but ask for this letter of apology, and hopefully they can move forward towards reconciliation.
Sounds like the Pope is using a big stick in this instance. Mary Shevlin, EWTN News Nightly Vatican correspondent. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Lauren.
So, my people, are you seeing it? Hey, oh, my people.
Uncle Kavya is here.
My people. I greet to Ejura. Holy for political wearing cassock with hidden agenda. Only Bennett seems to not be corrupt. That's why they removed him. So, I'm not even talking about holiness or anything like that. I'm just making it like they did this for years. Like it was Pope Benedict that appointed that man. Appointed him in 2012, as you can hear. And, they did not accept until this new Pope came, to Pope Francis. He met the situation in that limbo. Sent emissary, even tried to tell them, accept this man. They refuse. They say they have so many priests, they want a priest from a son of their soil. And to give credit to, it's not only in Igbo land that this thing is happening. Just this year, I'll show you another video. Just this year, another one is happening in I think in Katsina-Ala.
One feedback was so audacious as was the chief shepherd of the diocese. One feedback submitted that we are not competent to discuss the appointment of the bishop because it is purely the prerogative of the Holy Father, the Pope. But another counters that it is precisely the Holy Father whose prerogative it is to appoint the bishop, who through the presence in other process has asked us all to speak out on all issues pertaining to our journey together. That the choice of the new bishop, the chief shepherd of the diocese, should be of one who is an indigene of the land, because he will understand more the cultural values, the local language of the indigenous people who are also generally the greater majority of the people of God of the diocese. That the bishop of Makodi is an indigene, the bishop of Otukpo is an indigene, the bishop of Boko is an indigene, that the bishop of Lafia until recently was an indigene. That even the case of Lafia presently is agreeable exchange because Lafia released their bishop to become Archbishop of Jos, and Jos donated one of the indigenous priests to become the bishop of Lafia.
I hope you are hearing.
Non-indigenous as the first bishop of Katsina-Ala was wrong and an injustice to the diocese. That Yangi in massive diocese, where in massive bishop got. That is to say, we were given a diocese but not a bishop. One feedback holds that the bishop should be appointed from any part of the world to shepherd the people of God in any particular diocese, just as priests and religious are accepted for mission from any part of the world, regardless of tribe, race, or color. That after all, the church is universal. Another feedback asks whether Sankara indigenes are not part of that universality of the church. One feedback was so audacious as was said that the early death of Bishop Adobo was an intervention from God himself, and asks whether we would not learn our lesson.
So basically, it's not, I mean, that of Mbise was pronounced because it has dragged on for years, you know, and it is coming from a section of the country that is crying out against other region for putting them down, not accepting them, not giving them chance. And that's why it's unique for the one of Mbise. This one, I'm just showing another example of what is going on in Katsina-Ala. They send them a bishop and they are not accepting that he's not from there, he's not an indigene, as you can hear. You see, so at the end of the day, you are the one doing yourself. You don't want Wike. Your delegates voted against Wike. Why? Because Wike did not tolerate the antics of IPOB. And you people are afraid that if Wike should get to that presidency, he's going to deal with your Ogambu. I don't know. This is my thinking. You see? So at the end of the day now, Wike lost, but he lost gallantly. He fought a good fight. He threw himself up there and he fought a good fight. Imagine if Tambuwal did not pull out. Wike made a great move, really. Like he was a force to contend with. He was a force to contend with. And then the delegates were just there because of the money. They just went there for the money. One have already bought a car safe. One has bought a car. Let me even show you. Ndimbu. Ndimbu. I want to show you the one that has bought a car now. See, he has bought a car. Delegates. A brand new car. He has bought a brand new car. Tia rubber. Tia rubber. Delegate, you don't collect you. But now, after Fulani, you want to play with the north? When you they collect your own share, for your own pocket, they do. You know, remember saying north and south. When you don't enter rich house, you go come they tell your people, these Fulani people, hey, this not Anna. More na they fear God small. Yes, so we are not serious. You can say it very loudly. Yes, you can say it very loudly. Wike fought a good fight. Anybody can see it. From nowhere, he pushed through. I wish he pushed last time. You know, he pushed last time. If he had pushed in 2019, you know that he doesn't have that clash with IPOB yet. So they would not have hated him then. You see, and like they died to give him the mandate according to their own dufu. Now so they first still die for her, you know. So his problem was because of the clash he had with the IPOB, the way he routed them out. So they hold that grudge against him. And then the other ones that wanted money, pure money for themselves. Now their own pocket they know they remember say they be Southern and they are Fulani, but when they don't reach out, they go say, these Fulani people, you know if you try them. When you know serious, uncle. When you know serious, you reach there, you go collect. See this one now. It's not Fulani. You don't buy in car. Now that one be in problem. Tia rubber. Like say the car no go finish. My own is not. I don't have any problem who you like to vote, but stop heating up the politics. Stop heating up the population. Allow people be. Stop this rhetoric. Oh, Fulani is wrong. What if everybody say Igbo? How will you feel? Stop it. This hateful rhetoric must stop. It must stop. You people have seen it. It is what you sow that you will reap. Stop this hateful rhetoric now. Wike got 200 and something votes, and not only Southerners. In fact, many Southerners did not vote for him. Many Southerners, especially Southeasterners, did not vote for him. But he still got 230 something. Imagine. So what are you doing? You are relegating yourself the more, making yourself inconsequential. Because anybody will say, those ones, how many votes will they give you anyway? Pius, what happened to him? Is he not an Igbo man? Oh, he's not P2B. The people, thank you. One of our brother even wrote, the people that are saying P2B, they don't even have PVC. They are online image makers, just like their online country. They will not go on the ground and do the needful. They will come online and antagonize anybody. Any post you go see that they go there aboking Fulani insulting everybody. What's happen? No I see social media. Is it only you people that have social media? Even many people are using social media better to their advantage, to their benefit. Only ona. More repent. There is no need to mock Wike. Who write exam, carry first, he carry second. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. It shows that he's a force to contend with. Whether you like him or you don't like him, he's a force to contend with. Really. He has put up a good fight. And, I'm sure, he has put himself out there. He has made his mark. The P2B, you are pushing. Where is he now? Where is the footprint? We don't even see. Talk less of a mark. I don't know. Now my own opinion be that. I don't understand. The only tribe I know of that always cut their nose to spite their face. I've never seen this kind of a thing. I'm looking at comments. Even one was even attacking me on a post I made or just my opinion. Everything becomes a war. Like, can't you just rest? Can't you just make a comment, just your opinion, and leave it there? Must it be a fight? Must it be an attack? Hello?
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 Hello, I can hear you. My viewers, I hope you can hear, because I don't know, people complain that they don't hear when people are calling. Please let me know if you are hearing. Continue.
Yeah, good afternoon, and thank you so much for all you're doing, and thank you for once again trying to give us the opportunity to brainstorm and crisscross ideas.
Yeah.
You know, to most of people of the Southeast, we are just emotionally invested. There's no intelligence at play.
Yeah.
What is happening is politics. And good thing, you brought a different perspective. The Reverend Father Paleke, who has been made, who the Pope has ordained, and the one from Benue. This is politics everywhere. People put their preferences. It's a game of interest. Now, Ndibo, we need to dismiss our entitlement mentality. This is not a family meeting where the first son will want to overshadow everyone that it is right, his birthright, because he's the first son. No, this is Nigerian politics. Wike is from a minority tribe. We need to learn. We need to learn how to pay our dues politically. Wike has paid his dues all the way from local government election to governorship. Once I think chief of staff to Ameji, once a minister. Today he pulled his weight. He pulled his strings. Pius Anyim scored ridiculous 14 votes. Now the question is, Pius could not even politic amongst his cycle. Nigerians, there's what is called the politics of politicians. That is what is going on.
Yeah.
P2B left PDP because he cannot pull the strings.
No.
Nobody's ready to shift ground. But they all went and blackmailed. Dollars is changing hands. Is there any individual or political party that is not corrupt in Nigeria?
Okay.
The system is. Okay.
There's inducement everywhere. Now, P2B started from Abga. 2013, what did he promise to do? We never leave Abga. Where is he today?
Okay.
It's a game of interest. Politics is for the politicians. You see, there are things what we have in Nigeria is all for politicians. We have no statesmen in Nigeria. They're not thinking about the next generation. All they're thinking about the next election and the immediate benefit. Look at Ene Abaribe today. Suddenly, PDP has become a feral party. That's a party that brought him to the limelight.
Yeah.
The party has been there for 15 years. They cannot account anything. How many bills did he sponsor?
Yeah.
But you see, everyone is asking of it. Now, you see, this is politics. In Nigeria, we have over 200 ethnic nationalities or tribe or dialect, whichever one that comes first. Now, we are top of, we're one of the top three, Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo. Where is Ikwere? Wike is an Ikwere man. Ikwere is a minority in Nigeria. But look where he is today politically. Put his strengths within PDP. Apart from Atiku, who else? What happened behind closed door was politics. If Tampowa did not step down, Wike will beat Atiku hands down.
Yeah.
Because what? They will divide the votes.
Yeah.
And Tampowa came up to say his delegate votes for Atiku.
Thank you.
Wike scored 234 or 47, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
When we do the arithmetic, Atiku did not win him by 90%. It's just a fraction.
Yeah.
And this is politics, and he has accepted it in good faith. But what are we seeing? Okay, now, people that are shouting P2B, PDP is corrupt. P2B is he the one that formed Labour Party? Now, those politicians and those party men that have been working for Labour Party, so will they surrender their interest? P2B has gone to where he can negotiate and get his interest.
Yeah.
He couldn't get that in PDP. He went elsewhere.
Yeah.
This is life. This is politics. Is he one of the... Now, from every political party he's joined, he has never even paid his dues. He wasn't the one that formed ABGA. It is Chekwa Sokori that formed ABGA. He came and benefited from ABGA. ABGA could not take him to the national level. He jumped ship to PDP. Was it a family member of PDP? No, it is Solomon La that formed PDP. Now, people need to go back. Who formed Labour Party? Is it P2B? Is his name among the founding fathers?
Okay.
What was Labour Party? Where was it when Labour Party was formed? But today wants to go there and become the presidential candidate. This is politics.
Yeah, he was in P2B used to be in PDP, and then he left PDP to go to ABGA, and then he left ABGA again to go back to PDP, and then he has left PDP again. So in all of this, it was his interest, his political interest, not Igbo interest. Separate it for so that God will help you, God will bless you.
Now,
see this Mumu Arinze Oreke, and his profile said that he studied at Army Day Secondary School in Sokoto. Sokoto, keep this in mind. Look at what he's writing. Is your problem on Igbo as a tribe or against their agitation for a nation? Sokoto, somebody that is living in Sokoto, you find that what I'm doing is against Igbo. May you not see how he is.
Now, it is only Igbos that always cry marginalization in that country called Nigeria. As the people of Ikureko, now if we're going to cry marginalization, what do you want to say to the people of his own community? The people of Ogoni, the people of, the river around the creek. What do you want to say to them? We need to wake up. Bayo Sanyem was once the secretary to the federal government. How did his position benefit the people of Ebonyi State? He's from Ebonyi State. Now, if we go back now, how did that benefit the Pawanta and his community?
Okay.
The truth is we have politicians, we do not have statements. We do not even have people that are thinking about the next generation. Everyone is fixated in Nigeria about 2023. Once 2023 come and go, they begin to do their business as usual. Nobody's, there's no futuristic thinking. The 2027 they come again. All we need to encourage one another that listen, what happened is politics is not about ethnic group. People are trying to bring ethnicity into the whole thing.
No, it's not.
Wike and Tambawa was together in 2018. It's a last minute shift of ground. Because Tambawa, to surrender his interest, it's not a big deal.
And you know that PDP as a party will also be looking at the viability of Wike across the whole country.
That is it.
Because there is individual interest, there is party interest. The party will still have to check who do they think will represent them better nationally. Does Wike have that coverage nationally? You understand? Maybe, I don't know. I'm not a PDP person. I'm not a politician.
Now, one thing most of us need to go, let's go by statistics. Can the Southeast trump up 20 million votes? The answer, we can't even produce 12 million. The answer is no.
The thing is, the Southeast vote is splitted. For example, we have large population of Southeasterners everywhere across Nigeria. And those ones in the Southeast don't have PVC. Sake of Onye Ndufu. No election, no referendum.
That is it.
Even as we are talking, Simon Ekpa is still blowing hot that there will be no election other than referendum. Even in this week. Yeah, there's political apathy.
At the end of the day, I give Wike the credit.
Yeah.
He pulled his strings. He's a figure to reckon with. And, I don't know why most of these guys, this emotional hatred, emotional sentiment, emotional is taking nobody nowhere. What is happening completely is politics.
Yeah.
We are nowhere to be seen. We are nowhere to be found. And whether they like it or not, Labour Party cannot win the next presidential election. The election is between APC and PDP. Because when it comes to the machineries, they have it. And in the history, since 1999, the North, it's like, how would I put it? It's like the magic figure. They produce. By the time they produce their own vote, they have not produced. Election Abasa. That is it.
Apart from that, we have to also factor in the constitutional mandate that every region of the country must give a 2/3 vote. So regardless of how many million votes they get in the north, they have to be able to see that this person can give them 2/3 of their vote. At that 25%, 25%. So even though they don't win in the Southeast, they need 25% to become president of Nigeria. That's what the Constitution says. So at the end of the day, who is the one making sure that 25% happens in all the region? And that is what the party will be thinking. So the North can vote massively for one person and get millions, but to become president, you must still get 25%, minimum of 25% in other zones.
This is myself. This is me as an individual. P2B is not loyal. P2B is crafty. P2B is not a party man. It only goes where he wants his interest. He cannot secure his interest. He's no longer part
Me,
of
I
it.
don't even want to talk about P2B because they are even complaining that we are talking about P2B. Like you are just talking about P2B. It's already offensive. Just like they don't want us to talk about Kano, you know, and everything he's doing is offensive. Yeah.
You see, most people are not mature to discuss their reality.
Yeah.
They want to discuss fiction. This is politics and this is the reality in Nigeria. At the end of the day, P2B is not a party man, and P2B is not even the kind of politician. He's just like the clerk in Leave Them. He's not a politician you can trust. You know, at the slightest, he just switches. You know, he's a chameleon. At the end of the day, there are people in PDP who have paid their dues and they couldn't get their interest. They are still with PDP. Yes, he has his interest. So let them not come and paint PDP as an evil party. If PDP as is that so corrupt, he's part of the corrupt system. He's been there. You know, he's been there. He's seen it. He's done it. Now, 2019, though it's an allegation that I cannot verify, but it is there on record. Who gave IPOB $2 million? How did they come to cancel the election 24 hours that you cannot go and vote? All our preconditions have been met. You see, emotional investment to destroy the Southeast. This is the beginning. Let's wake up and go and play our politics. Now, let's go back to our various states. All political stakeholders now, they are jumping ships. They are betraying one another.
The thing is,
what is happening in Abia State?
Yeah.
Is it different? Is it different from what is happening in PDP
Yeah.
at the national level? The answer is no. You know, anybody knows that. You see, I made a video the very first day he said he wants to contest for a governorship. I made a video, though I can't remember the date. I said, okay, Zeke Basu is going for Senate, and today it has happened. He has won that ticket. Now the governorship they cannot give it to him, and India should watch it. The son like me is going for governorship. So now, I think Abaribe has seen that his interest, the powers that be within Abia State, would not want to yield. Now he's gone to APCA. All of a sudden, PDP is a Pharaoh party. Come on, and you see mature men who cannot sit down and think, who cannot process thoughts, who cannot put two and two together. All they have is emotional investment, running from pillar to post, creating ethnic bias, everything is ethnicity. They will build. Anyway, let's continue building that ethnicness. It is what will destroy Nigeria. I've said it to people who care to listen. Two things will destroy Nigeria: religious intolerance and ethnicness. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You know, well, while we're talking about P2B, you know, our brother mentioned something that he's not faithful, and you know, he's not steadfast, and that is true. How do you explain it? Like, he's talking about, you know, the money that was given. Of course, there is no certainty, but we know that there is a lot of support from P2B to the IPOB. You understand? Like, one of our sisters have already said in our call, in our program, she called in, P2B is like an extension of IPOB leader. That's why they are, you know, thronging in. You know, what else? So P2B represents some kind of a Biafra sentiment to them. That's why they are pushing in, using him to mob. But for me personally, I don't see P2B in the light that they are painting him. One, because it was on his watch that Mossab was thriving. And everything that they are doing now with IPOB, Mossab already did. Disrupting the daily life and business and market, you know, causing nuisance. And he dealt with them. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. The caller, thank you to the caller. Thank you, our brother Henry. You know, he dealt with Mossab to the extent that he ordered for a shooter site. At that time, there was even a situation whereby some people who nobody knows how they died were washed ashore of one river in Anambra State. They call it a Do River. Still remember. You know, all those things was mocking. I wasn't doing social media, all those things, but, you know, I was just kind of observing what was going on. And P2B brought in the military, just like what Uzodinma is doing in Imo State today. P2B dealt with them. And he never used his office to tell them that this Biafra something is just to fool you. Like, there's nothing like Biafra, sensitize the people, try to win the people back. It was just okay for the people to be dying for nothing. You know, So he ordered for Mossab. I'm going to show you in 2006 on Onitsha, Oka, peeved by the continued threat to lives and property in Onitsha, Anambra State Governor Mr. Peter Obi yesterday directed security operatives to shoot on sight hoodlums caught in perpetrating violence in the city. Mr. Obi had on Saturday imposed a dusk-to-dawn curfew on the commercial hub of the South Sea Zone as part of measures to contain activities of suspected members of Movement for the Actualization of the Sovereign State of Biafra, Mossab. So, you know, this is what I'm talking about. Let me show you the picture. I don't know if you can read it. Is it legible? A little bit. So maybe you can pause it later and read. Or maybe I will share it on my WhatsApp group. You see? So that's just by the way. And then the same Peter Obi, you see him here representing Nnamdi Kanu at his father's burial. You see, representing Nnamdi Kanu at his father's burial. So it's a dual personality for me. You know, it's a dual personality for me. What is the meaning of this kind of behavior? And now they are mobbing him. You want to use him to mob others. I want to use him to lose the remaining stand that they have. So if you people use Peter Obi to go and reduce the stand that you have been holding in PDP politically, then now no. Don't come and cry Fulani again and not when you are not doing your own. You see? Yeah, anyone Abi leader that has ever sympathized with IPOB is a ticking time bomb and dangerous. Stay away from such. Thank you. But somehow, you know, like this presentation they are making is very flawed. But again, who am I to say anything before they will come? This one is not say they're against Igbo. Tell me what I have done that is against Igbo. What have I said that is against Igbo? So if somebody is telling it as it is, then it is against Igbo. You want to be lied to. You want your emotion to be pampered so you can continue your cry baby. Cry baby. Don't go and grow up and be an adult and take charge of your political life. Be there and be crying. Fulani, Hausa, Fulani, Yoruba. Be there. Because they are not human beings like you. He should go and learn how to play politics. They are not human beings like you. They have 2 S's, Abi. They have 2 S's. Okay. Anyway, my people, this is really, you know, it's supposed to be a very short video. I say, let's talk about it quickly. Everything is politics, so it's politics. The delegates have collected their own money and done what they want to do. But Wike has fought a good fight, so nobody should mock him and laugh him and say, you know, like he has solidified his stance. And as a matter of fact, for the first time, he came out putting himself in the national limelight. Look how far he went, regardless of whether money changed or what money did not change. So, but look at how far he went. You know, beating Anyim Pius hands down. You know, like as if that one was almost like it didn't exist. So this is the reality for today. So don't go and use the exit of Peter Obi and Wike and lose the remaining hold you are holding on PDP. Stay where you are. Those ones that want to go to Labour, go to Labour. Be everywhere you want to be. Stop mobbing others. Stop antagonizing others. Be doing the one. Everywhere you are, be diligent and work hard there. And reap the fruit thereof. You see? I thought that what happened in 2018 would have taught them a lesson, but obviously it didn't. So yeah, there is no need to point and blame anybody. It is what it is. Politics. It comes how it comes. Either you flow or you sink. That's it. So my people, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you all. Thank you. This one said, What side are you? It's clear you are paid, so he's not supposed to go to the burial. What did the dead man to attend the burial? So who is Nnamdi Kanu then? Is it Nnamdi Kanu from Anambra State? Is it Nnamdi Kanu a politician? On what basis did he go and represent Nnamdi Kanu? Anyway, that one is not my problem. Eh? Yeah, because I am a delegate now. I'm the one that collected the money, Abby. I don't need unknown gunmen on my WhatsApp group. Oh, I beg. I don't need unknown gunmen. Carry your wahala come off for here. Lovely Sunday, my people. I greet everyone once again. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. There is nothing much to say. So, maybe if I have time again later, we can talk about any other thing. But for now, it is what it is. So, thank you, everyone. Have a good afternoon, good day. Happy Sunday, you all.